Hey guys, welcome back to the Ron Williams YouTube channel. Today I have to do my 16 last week. Went back down to 14. Remember I had moved up to 14, then 14 and a half, and I actually did 15. And I was supposed to do 16 and went right back down to 14. What I hope that did for you, I mean, I gave it all that I had. But one thing I want you to get out of what happened then was I didn't quit. I didn't quit and say, you know what, 14, that's it. That's the way life really works. I mean, this is life for real. Sometimes things don't go exactly the way you want them to. I don't care whether it's in your business, whether it's in your marriage, or even in training. It doesn't go sometimes as planned. I used to box. And when I was on the boxing team, we would shadow box. And this is the way it looks. We're imagining we have an opponent there and we're throwing these punches, bam! You know, and we've got it all mapped out how we're gonna fight this other guy. And we're shadow boxing. And we do a lot of damage in shadow boxing. But when you get a real, live, worthy opponent, that when you punch, bam, he punches back, it changes everything. Changes everything. But in times like that, do you quit or do you keep pressing forward? Do you take the hit and keep moving forward, or do you just quit up? Do you just give up and quit? So it's the same way here. I had a plan in my mind and it didn't work exactly the way I thought it should. I think I came up with some reasons why I didn't go exactly the way it should, but regardless of the fact, I didn't do 16. So what do? I go back and I say, hey, I can do 16, and I do it again and again and again. So this is going to be a two-part series. After I do 16 today, I'm going to talk to you about some of the emotional cycles that we have. And so this will be a two-part. But with that being said, I'm going to talk to you about some fixed cycles, which are addictions that you don't know you have. I grew up with a lot of addictions, and I didn't realize it. I didn't realize I had those addictions until I had to break them. And when I had to break them, and they were really hard to do, I realized that those were addictions. It may have not been drugs. It may have not been alcohol. It may have not been pornography or sex or anything like that. But nevertheless, they were addictions and they had control of me. When we talk about those today, the reason I want to talk about them is I want you to analyze to see if you have any addictions. And if you do, what it's going to require to break those addictions. Now, this is addiction in a whole nother way that you've probably never realized or never even analyzed. But that aside right now, 16. Okay, here's my little ritual. Most of you that have been on the channel a little while, you know I'm a Christian pastor. And some of you give me a hard time about it, but it's all in fun. That's okay, because everything I do has everything to do with God. I mean, when I'm lifting, when I'm building my marriage, I'm building my business, it has everything to do with God. So as I'm going after this, I'm asking God to give me strength, because today I'm just not feeling it. But it doesn't matter, because I'm going to go for this, and 16 is going down today. Watch what I say. But what I'm about to talk to you after we finish this is really important, guys. I want you to make sure you get this. It's my ritual. Power, strength, drive, Jesus' name. Power, strength, drive. It's 16, not 14, not 15, but 16. Oh yeah. Feel that weight. 16. Somebody asked, they said, when you drop those weights on your chest like that, does it hurt? I can't even feel it. I can't feel it. Think about football players when they're on the field and they get tackled and they jump right back up. They don't even feel it. I don't even feel it. I'm a machine, baby. I'm a machine. Down, up, 16. Okay, relax. This is what I do. I relax, close my eyes. When I get into position, I open my eyes and it's on. Okay, guys, listen, you saw that. You saw me do it. That was 16. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about addictions and how the mind works. But I wanted to do 16 before I talk to you about that. And I did it, so give me a second to recover. You saw me do the 16. I'm going to tell you, when you saw 14, 15, and 16, that all came from here and here. And just knowing that I could do it, just knowing that I could do it. Now I want to talk about the addictions that I was referring to earlier. Those addictions that we have, what they do is they release chemicals in our brain, and when those chemicals are released, they cause certain patterns in our lives. And with those patterns, see, we're all made up of words that we've heard, thoughts that we've had, and feelings that are tied to those thoughts, and emotions which create actions. Those actions done repetitively create what we call habits. And we do habits long enough, it actually develops neural pathways in our brain that's supported by chemicals. And those chemicals that are fed to the brain crave a certain action. And so if I'm doing something over and over and over again and I try to change that habit, it's like riding a horse, and the horse, the mind is the rider and the horse is the body that's moving. And I ride the horse the same way over and over and over again, and this horse has developed a pattern, and then all of a sudden I'm riding that horse and I pull the other direction. That horse pulls me back and say, no, I want to go this direction. So when my mind has sent my body a signal consistently enough in my thoughts, and it's being supported by hormones, your body creates minimum of 50 different types of hormones, and those hormones control who you are. You hear people say that lady's, she's going through menopause, so she gets, grouchy. That's what they say. But what we don't realize is there's a thing called menopause, where men actually are going through it too. But the thing is, those hormones are out of balance, and they control the personality of that individual. So with that being said, we have actions that we've done because we've been told this, we've felt this, And some of those things are very, very negative. You're dumb, you're stupid. And you begin to believe that. And when you relax into that, it releases hormones into your brain and you are satisfied with that. That just becomes who you are. And you say, you know what? I'm not dumb. I'm not stupid. Then I've got to fight against that horse going another direction. And it keeps pulling me. And it doesn't quit easy. That's the same way addictions work. When you're on a drug and you start to crave that drug and you're looking around to get that drug and you can't find that drug. So some people, they steal, they lie, they do whatever it requires to get that drug back into their hands. Well, because they want to feel what they were feeling. They want those chemicals released in their brain so they can relax into who they are. Well, we have some mental and emotional addictions that are created through fixed cycles. But we have to develop what I call actionable beliefs. And what you just saw me do was an actionable belief. It's not just mindset, because we've ruined that word mindset. We say, oh, it's in my mind, it's in my mind. I'm great, I'm powerful, I'm positive, I'm all these great things. But when we look in the mirror, we still see the same person and we don't like what we see. For many of us, not all of us. So we've got to develop these actionable beliefs. And when we develop these actionable beliefs, I'm getting excited, so I'm starting to talk really fast. When we develop these actionable beliefs, we actually begin to live them out. And when we live those actionable beliefs out, we're able to change those fixed cycles, those addictive type habits that we have in our brains that tell us that we can't. Those beliefs that say you're not enough. You're not who you think you are. People say this about you, but really you're that. Where did that come from? That was pushed into me as I grew up as a child. And now I want to be something different. I look at this other guy and say, why is he a multimillionaire and I'm not? He's got something that I don't have. If you do that, that guy may not be smarter than you. His ability may not be greater than yours. But there is something that goes on between your ears. And that's your thought process and your actionable beliefs. See, there are a lot of people in the world that are prejudiced. I grew up around prejudice. But prejudice doesn't affect me. You know why? Because my thought process and my actionable beliefs are different. Oftentimes, I go in an environment where I'm the only black person around. And you know what my thought process is? It's not these people of a different race, whether it's Hispanic, whether it's white, whether it's Asian. It doesn't matter who that group of people, doesn't matter who they are. It's how I view them. And when I go into that room, the only black person there, this is my thought process. I don't care who's in here that's prejudiced. But I am a blessing going somewhere to happen. And when I speak to this audience, or when they encounter me, I am a blessing going somewhere to happen. When I get in the middle of that room, boom, I'm going to explode. Blessing all over the place. And if they don't like black people, by the time I leave, they'll at least like me. Because I am who I am. And with that thought process, rather than going into a room thinking, oh my God, that guy, that one probably doesn't like, oh, look at that one. Maybe he doesn't like black. So what? That's not going to control who I am. It's not going to make me become different because they're who they are. I've got to be me, right? So with these actionable beliefs, I want to go into a little detail, but I'm going to take you on this on part 2 into my office, and we're gonna work on the board a little bit. So stay with me. Remember that 16. Next week, 17. But we're gonna talk about actionable beliefs and addictions and a fixed cycle. Let's go do it.